only elephants we're seeing are one or two bulls that are sort of moving on a path heading elsewhere. The rest of the elephants stay well back in the forest line this time of year, where the rainwater has collected in the pans. So it was a nice surprise to see this bull come out into the open and head down to the edge of the water. Once he sort of plunged in, you could see a lot of flies, biting flies, that come with these summer months underneath his stomach. They're obviously harassing him quite a lot and biting him. And he spent a fair bit of time splashing water underneath between his legs, trying to get rid of that irritation. Jacana came past. Very inquisitive little guy. The feet very, very splayed. With that weight dispersal on such a big surface area, those feet enable this bird to sort of tiptoe across the top of floating vegetation. Really an amazing adaptation. Gives them access to an environment that no other birds can get to get the insects that they're after. Little family of Egyptian geese waddled towards us. The female had a lot to say. There were a lot of reasons for her to be concerned. Near the edge of the water, there's little crocs that would easily have a go at her young goslings, and fish eagles also no problem swooping down and having a go at these guys. And it must be quite a stressful period marching these little chicks back and forth along the edge of the water. They have got a lot to learn, and at the moment the only real safety they have is out on the open water.
A pair of otters here, and to my absolute amazement and joy, one of them is an albino. Now, this is not terribly rare in otters. In fact, there are albino forms in many species of animals, but in otters it's quite well known. The normal coloured one, very much more difficult to see in the water. Just look how fast these animals are in the water, down under the water, shooting along, streamlined, absolutely beautiful to watch. And their noses appear to be going up, picking up scent. Then satisfied, they carry on with their activity. These animals beautifully adapted to life in the water. The streamlined shape, partially webbed feet. And here we can see the normal coloured one has got itself a nice fish and it's giving it a really good chewing. Takes a while for it to work its way through this fish. A lot of mutual grooming going on. They certainly seem to be dedicated to one another, this pair.
This is Stringer Reef. It's only about 1 kilometer offshore and is often characterized by a lot of snappers in the midwater. As soon as we got down, I noticed all these sergeant majors beginning to panic, and the gold bar wrasse that you see feeding on their eggs is the reason why. These wrasse are very opportunistic, and as a diver passes over and the sergeant majors move away, they take that opportunity and dive in and start feeding quite ferociously upon their eggs. Here, 2 more butterfly fish come in for a last morsel. A popular resident on this reef is a large potato bass. Here you can see a small cleaner wrasse popping in and out of his mouth. Yeah, you can see more cleaner wrasse moving in, and they'll pick off any parasites that are in the gill plates or in the mouth of this bass. We moved further on down the reef and we came across this particular overhang. And I was just amazed at how many different species of fish are in this one frame. These smaller fish with a little blue line going across their eye are in fact cardinals and form a large majority of the clouds of fish that we tend to find around the reef. At the back, a coral rock cod emerges from his cave and just kind of shyly moves away from us. And here, another shy resident of the reef is a lemonfish. Towards the end of the dive, we came across this beautiful and rather large marbled electric ray. Their eyes will protrude above the sand as well as their gills, and this enables the animal to breathe and to see as it lies in wait for potential prey. It will usually settle into the sand, and this makes it pretty much invisible to any potential prey.
The golden orb web spider. We filmed a few of them in their webs today. The top strand that the spider creates is made of a non-sticky substance, which is golden in color, and that is where the spider gets its name from. Quite a dominant feature of this web was this trophy room of the insects that she'd already caught. A male was nearby, tiny. It seemed to be perhaps 1/15 of the size of the female, which is the large one. There were a few other males on the side of the web, and this is not unusual. I also saw the other males on the side of the web actually approaching the larder, and they're known to steal the food from the female. And this one caught an insect, a fly. While the female was eating, the male used the opportunity for mating purposes. While she's occupied with those dangerous and deadly jaws, he places the semen, which had been placed into a web sac, into her abdomen. The female made a sudden movement and all the males scurried off. I can understand why.